The Houston Texans just released their new official staff. Some old faces, but a lot of new faces. I picked three of the most important new staff members that I think need to perform, and I chose to do a deep dive on them, look at the career, what they've done in the past, and just learn more about these people that are in extremely important spots in this Texans organization. This is the Texans Better Talk Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily content. Let's get straight into it, starting with none other than Nick Caley, the new offensive coordinator, replacing Bobby Slowick, who had been 2 years at the offensive coordinator position. Nicholas Caley, Nicholas Caley was born in Canton, Ohio, and attended Walsh and John Carroll University. Now, John Carroll University is going to come up again, extremely popular D3 school, but John Carroll University has seen very notable alumni such as Josh McDaniels, who's now the Patriots offensive coordinator, just hired by Vrabel, Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator of the Chargers, and Jerry Shaplinski, the senior offensive assistant for the Rams, who is now our current senior offensive assistant and pass game specialist. That's a long title. And of course, Nick Caserio. So all those people coming from John Carroll University along with Nick Caley. Now, growing up, Caley said he always knew he wanted to be a coach in the NFL. He spent a decade exactly coaching at the collegiate level for schools such as, and this is in order, Auburn, Iowa State, Arkansas, and Florida Atlantic. There were some other smaller schools. I left them off just to give you kind of a clear, big picture of where he worked in college. He mainly worked as an assistant and a secondary coach, like the defensive secondary, until 2015, where he became part of the New England Patriots as an offensive assistant. So in 2015, he makes his debut into the NFL after 10 years of coaching in college. In 2017, still at the Patriots, he was promoted to the tight ends coach position, and until 2019, where he added on fullback coach. So in 2019, he was also the fullback coach along with the tight end coach after solely being the tight end coach for a couple of years. Then in 2022, he reverted back to just a tight end coach for the Patriots before changing scenery and becoming the tight end coach for the LA Rams in 2023. So if you're following that timeline, 2023, he's with the Rams under McVay. In 2024, he added pass game coordinator to his title along with the tight end coach. And now in 2025, he is set to be the Houston Texans offensive coordinator. So let's talk about some of his notable career highlights. He won his first Super Bowl with the Patriots after they came back against the Falcons. That Super Bowl was actually at NRG Stadium. Halftime score was 28-3. They win it in overtime. At that point in time, he was the tight end coach for Gronkowski. Also winning a Super Bowl in 2019 with the Patriots after defeating the Rams, which is kind of ironic. Obviously, he crossed paths with Nick Caserio at his time with the Patriots. Caserio was the assistant, coaching assistant, a scout, and a director of player personnel. So one other thing I'll note about Nick Caley was he was actually offered the Patriots offensive coordinator job last year, and he turned it down to spend another year with McVay. So the Patriots obviously liking Nick Caley. He had been there before, and they trusted him to develop a new quarterback in Drake May. Obviously, Nick Caley never took the job, but it really shows that he was highly respected in the Patriots organization, being that familiar face, and also he turned it down waiting for the right opportunity. So now I'm going to talk about a Houston Chronicle article that's going to give you kind of a deeper dive into Nick Caley's personality, how he's kind of acted as a coach. So it starts off with this. Nick Caley is a widely viewed as a rising star in this profession. He spent 8 years learning under Belichick and then the past 2 years with the Rams under Sean McVay. He passed up several job opportunities, including the Jets offensive coordinator role this year. When asked about why he passed up the Jets role, why he wanted to come to Texas, he said it's because of the people, and he pointed at DeMeco Ryans, Nick Caserio, and the Texans ownership. It also helps when you have a good team in a bad division. I think that's probably why Nick Caley really wanted to come here, and no state income tax, so you have those that you can factor into as well, but he said because of the people, which there's probably some of that too. Now, McDaniels said Caley's strength and what allowed him to succeed was his ability to communicate and teach different people who learned differently. This is a direct quote. He knew what buttons to push, McDaniel said. He just continued to evolve, grow, pushed himself to be better. He's one of the finest position coaches I've ever worked with. Obviously, this is McDaniels when, he's spending time at the Patriots organization. And then Mike LaFleur, who was the Rams offensive coordinator, called Caley a maniac, but in the best way possible. He said Caley was full go in his personal life as a husband and father of 4 girls, and as a coach. Whatever the coaching staff needed, Caley was the guy you could call on to get it done, and he was going to get it done efficiently. He's got that New England in him, LaFleur says. They just work. They don't know any other way. Of course, we've all heard about the Patriots way and the people in the Patriots building that we've kind of hated as Texans fans and as Brady haters, to be honest. But new era, Nick Caserio's here, obviously taking a lot of Patriots ex-staff members and putting them on Texans teams. So, yeah, I mean, the Patriots way, I guess. I guess that's a good way to have from your offensive coordinator. Former Texans quarterback Dave Ragone, who currently coaches the Rams quarterback, and this is interesting, says his meeting room was next to Caley's and he could sometimes hear him through the walls. So Caley's going to be a fiery guy with a fiery attitude. He's going to get players right and on track. This is something I just don't think Bobby Slowick could do, and I'm completely just, thinking about this and projecting this, but Bobby Slowick did not strike me to be a leader of men. Nick Caley, you read this article, you read what other people have said about him. I mean, you can hear him through walls. He's very passionate about what he does. Of course, D'Amico Ryan's also saying he's very passionate about football. So here's some other interesting things about Caley's teaching or coaching. Each week before games, Caley presented to the players on the importance of ball security. This is as a tight ends coach. Those presentations were often detailed and engaging, Ragone said. Players looked forward to it. Direct quote, "The one thing I will say, whatever job he was given, he did it to the fullest," end quote. He never cut any corners. Sorry, continuing. He never cut any corners, no shortcuts. Obviously, he's been raised in this business. You could tell right away, and he went about his business the right way. What about John Stryker, who works with Caley this past season with the Rams? He agreed. He'd often sit in on Caley's run game and installation meetings, and when he'd present to the offense about the importance of ball security. So Caley is a really, really, ball security guy. Like he gives presentations about this stuff. So what stood out to Stryker was Caley's enthusiasm and his attention to detail. He could reach any player in the room, said Stryker, who's now at the Patriots. It didn't matter if it was a tight end in his room or a wide receiver. He was able to reach everybody because he had good relationships with all the players in the room. Now, this is what I think the most insightful thing about this article. Here's what it said. He also recalled times where Caley would get on the headset, suggest certain plays to McVay based on coverage and the defensive fronts, and his suggested plays often worked. So there you have it. Nick Caley giving suggestions to Sean McVay implementing them, and them working more often than not. So really, what's the takeaway from Nick Caley? Well, he was the home run hire. Nick Caley was the guy, the best candidate for the Texans, who ultimately got him. He had other people that wanted to get him. He chose the Texans job. Multiple reports of saying he's passionate, he's loud, importance of ball security, and really knows how to connect with each and every player, and players look forward to his coaching style and his meetings. Now let's talk about Jerry Shaplinski. Now, Jerry Shaplinski came over from the Rams along with Nick Caley, probably with Nick Caley's doing, saying, hey, I want you to come with me to Texas. Let's do this together. And he is the pass game coordinator. A little bit on Jerry Shaplinski. Born in 1977, also went to John Carroll University where he started coaching. In 2013, he joined the New England Patriots as a coaching assistant, so another Patriots guy. Also became the assistant quarterbacks coach from 2016 to 2018. During his time with the Patriots, he contributed to 3 Super Bowls. He's worked closely with quarterbacks such as Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jacoby Brissett, Tom Brady being the name you want to key on there. He moved to the Miami Dolphins in 2019 as the assistant quarterbacks coach. Aided Ryan Fitzpatrick there. And then in 2020, he joined the New York Giants as the quarterback coach, where he guided Daniel Jones to a career-high 64% completion percentage in 2021. So if you want to attribute that to Shaplinski, I think it could work. He later served with the Las Vegas Raiders as a senior offensive assistant in 2022, and then later a tight ends coach in 2023. Raiders offense finished in top 12 in total offense under Shaplinski, so I don't know if that's completely under him, but that's something to note as well. And then finally, in 2024, he joined the Los Angeles Rams as a senior offensive assistant, and then Nick Caley recruits him to the Texans. So throughout his career, Shaplinski has been recognized for his ability to develop quarterbacks, enhance offensive performance, and contribute to multiple team successes in the NFL. Look, I think the reason why Caley brought Shaplinski over was to work with CJ Stroud. Now, he's not the designated quarterback coach, Gerard Johnson is, but I think Caley bringing Shaplinski is a way for him to kind of keep the same Texan coaches in the room, but also kind of bounce ideas off of Shaplinski. Hey, you're a vet. You've been doing this for a while. You've been a quarterback coach forever. How can we make sure CJ Stroud doesn't regress? Not that he doesn't trust Gerard Johnson, but I do think there's that aspect of being that quarterback guy with Shaplinski, which I think is a very, very good hire for him. And also his title obviously runs, farther than that. You're just the senior offensive assistant and pass game coordinator. He's just got a lot of knowledge about offenses and obviously kind of going to be that right-hand man for Nick Caley. And I think it's, again, another great hire. So now let's talk about to maybe a not so great hire. Cole Popovich, not a new name. He was the assistant offensive line coach behind Chris Strausser. Chris Strausser obviously getting fired. And who do they promote? They promote Cole Popovich to be the head coach of the offensive line. So he was born in California. I'm not going to go through all of his, growing up. But in 2016, he transitioned to the NFL, joining, guess who? The New England Patriots. As a coaching assistant, he was part of the coaching staff that secured 2 Super Bowl titles, 2017 and 2019, with Nick Caley and Shaplinski and Caserio. So the connections run deep, guys. During his tenure with the Patriots, he also served as the assistant running backs coach in 2019 and was promoted to co-offensive line coach in 2020. In 2021, Popovich departed from the Patriots due to reasons related to the COVID-19 vaccine and NFL guidelines. So there's that part of his career. Very controversial, but he left the NFL on his own choice. I think we can all agree and take that from that. Following his time in the NFL, he returned to collegiate coaching at Troy University and then re-entered the NFL in 2023, joining the Houston Texans as the assistant offensive line coach. In 2025, he was promoted to offensive line coach and run game coordinator for the Texans. What I've kind of gathered and heard from, just doing different research is that Cole Popovich was mainly in charge of the run game with the offensive line, whereas Chris Strausser was more concerned with the pass game. Neither were great. I think Joe Mixon made up for a lot of it. I'm not going to sit here and say the offensive line was much better at run blocking than pass blocking. I think a little bit, though. Really think Joe Mixon helped that. But what I think you can take away from Cole Popovich is he's worked with Nick Caley before. Nick Caley gave him kind of, his word, and obviously all connected with the Patriots and with Nick Caserio. Look, I think Cole Popovich being promoted to run game coordinator, he either must have done something insanely well in his interview, or he's going to be on the hot seat very quickly. He's going to have a short leash. He needs to get this offensive line on track, and he needs to get that run game going well. The only internal hire on the list. So that's kind of my video. Just a quick insight into these 3 guys, Nick Caley, Jerry Shaplinski, and Cole Popovich. What do you guys think about their careers? Do you think they are the right guys for the job? Let me know in the comments. And thank y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.